What is happening, guys? Welcome back to episode number 42 of the Road to Glory career mode. And we are back ready to show you guys what's been happening in the series. But first, quick thing to mention. I read through the comments of last episode and we got a comment from Stop Oh Yeah that said, play Ferrari at CDM and Alenia at Cam because Ferrari is bad at shooting, but Alenia is really good. I agree with that point. Having shown you the stats there, though, the reason I didn't want to do that originally was because I looked and his interceptions were like 30-something. His stand tackling was 60 and his slide tackling was like 48. So for a CDM, in terms of tackling, he didn't have the stats to play there, which is why I thought to myself, where could we best deploy him in terms of that one? Which is why I chose Cam. I thought, yeah, let's put him at Cam. That'd work. But today's episode, I do actually try him out at CDM, and we're going to see what kind of position he plays better at. So I'm going to test it over the course of the next couple of episodes. Try him at Cam, try him at CDM, and see which one I favour. Because worst case scenario, we just train those defensive stats up to the point where he's actually good to play there. You know what I'm saying? And in the actual player info section, he actually has centre mid and centre defensive midfield as his preferred positions. So realistically, that's probably where he should be playing him. But I did actually start him in Cam just to see if it was going to be any better today. The first two games are the post-con ones you're likely to see. First up, away to St Mary's to take on Southampton. The first chance coming from their corner when we broke up the other end with Kubo and Weah linking up really well before we found Weah again, who laid it on to Shane McNeil for the Scotsman to finish into the bottom corner and give us the lead. So Shane McNeil again is showcasing the quality he has. Double figures every single season in a Grimsby Town shirt so far. And yet, we don't really kind of talk about him that much. We never sort of talk about him as one of the world's best or sort of in the terms of, at least the Premier League, one of the Premier League's best. But if he keeps going the way he is, he's going to have that title attached to him at some point. Southampton, though, we're working to test. And Douglas Costa, their new signing, making his debut today, got in the box, but a phenomenal challenge from one of our defenders there to stop him. Really did showcase the defensive ability as well that we've got in this side. Kubo breaking through, found Kieran Tierney, who had a tremendous episode in this one, by the way, you're likely to see. Just want to throw that out there. For me, Kieran Tierney would be my player of the episode, and you're going to see why in the course of today's episode. But Ferrari should have scored. He should have finished that. And at that point, that's when I look back at the comment and gone, okay, I'm going to output him at CDM. So we took him off. We brought on Cox for this game anyway, and then after this, instead of doing that change, what I did was I just put him at CDM and brought off Alenia to see if that was going to work when I needed to. But yeah, I think for the next episode, we will be trying him out in CDM and moving Alenia up to that Cam spot. So that is the plan of action. I just thought to myself, the stats he's got, he's more suited to a Cam, but he doesn't seem to kind of play as well as he should in that position. You know, for someone who costs us £40 million, you kind of expect a little bit better. But I'm going to listen to what you guys said, try him out in that CDM role, and we'll just go from there, really. Honestly, though, we went 2-0 up. Tim Weah in on the goals, so now goals for Weah and McNeil in the game. And it paid dividends that Weah scored because with a few minutes to go, Southampton end up scoring themselves. But I felt there was a foul there on Shane Peterson, not given by the referee. And they finish it off with Sofiane Boufal putting it in the back of the net, courtesy of the post, to make it 2-1. Fortunately for us, there was no time for them to really grow into the game and get anything else because we were able to hold on to a 2-1 win, after going 2-0 to the good. So yeah, it was all good sailing for that one. I dropped Ferrari for game number 2 against Stoke, brought in Barbe on the left-hand side, put Kubo in his more favoured Cam role that he played so well in last season. That wasn't the reason of a poor performance. I just wanted to give Barbe a run out. And I thought to myself, let's do it by moving Kubo into that Cam position because at this point, I generally feel that Kubo will get more out of the game playing there because he's also been a bit quiet playing on the wing. I don't necessarily think Kubo strives on the wing. Of course, he's a default Cam, so that is the reason why he sort of plays better in that position. And he seems to go missing at times on the wing, so I thought put him back in that Cam. We'll see if he can perform better than what we know he's capable of at this current time. Other than that, the changes that were made, I felt we also had a really good side out there. And Stoke were one of the teams that I thought might struggle this season. And it seemed to play that way out in the first half anyway, as Barbe gets in the box. A really poor effort under the challenge, but we keep hold of the ball, keep the play alive. McNeil lays it off towards the edge of the area. And as if you guys didn't already tell us about his shooting capabilities, well, Alenia pulls off this to show us why he should be considered to play that Cam role. 11 minutes in, and he just rifles one into the corner of the goal with his left foot. And I honestly thought the move had gone because when we played the ball in and Barbe had the shot, I was like, that's poor. You know, we're going to waste the opportunity. But Alenia had other ideas and rifles it past the goalkeeper into the corner of the goal. And 15 minutes in, we were still piling the pressure on. MACNEIL's cross, back post was Weah. 2 assists now for the Scotsman on the right-hand side as Weah taps in with his left foot for his goal as well. And you know what? I'm really happy with Tim Weah. I really, really am happy with him. In the live part of the episode, I talked about the fact that he's growing into the role at the squad. On that topic as well, there was actually a comment coming in from Altaf, I hope I got your name right, my man, who says we need a better striker with the Champions League included, which at first I was sat there and I was looking at it and going, he's right. But then, at the same time, unfortunately, we don't have the money to go out and buy like a top-class striker, so anybody who comes in will be playing second fiddle to like Tim Weah. So I did check the free agents, my man. Unfortunately, there was no one available at the time. So for the most part, it's going to be Weah leading the line. And I'm just glad to see the way he's performing because he's showcasing why he has the ability and why he should be given the opportunity to do that with the way he's playing currently, scoring the goals for us. We'll see if that's going to dry up once the Champions League gets underway, which you will see the group draw for that today. So make sure we stick around to see who we have pulled. It is a very difficult group. Wait until you see it, guys. Looking forward to it, though. In the game itself, we were 2-1. Stoke pulled a goal back from what I didn't feel was a free kick, but still the ref gave it, they scored it, and we were kind of nervy up until that point because it was just before half-time. In the second half, I brought on Marcelo at left-back and moved Kieran Tierney up to left wing, and he scored, ladies and gentlemen. Another player who has the ability to attack as well, and I was maybe thinking to myself, should I start playing Kieran Tierney as a left winger? You know, in the likes of the Champions League games where we're going to have potentially not a lot of the ball and we will need to sit back and defend, maybe having Tierney at left wing wouldn't be such a bad idea, you know? So he scored here today. He got himself on the score sheet, continuing at what has been a really good episode for him. He had a great game against Southampton. He scores against Stoke, has a good game here as well. MACNEIL with 2 assists on the day too, and a 3-1 win against Stoke, who I did say I do believe will be struggling this season, and I'm going to stand by that. We'll see how it pans out towards the back end. Although, having said that, they actually did perform quite well against us. It was a fairly even game there. So, really good way to continue today's episode. Let's jump to the live part of it, guys. Got a Carabao Cup game in the round 2 of the competition, which honestly, I'm just not that interested in. So, I'm going to be going ahead and simming it. I've switched around the side to a weaker team, and we will see how we get on in this game. You can see who's in the side here. But the most important part about this is we are approaching the draw for the Champions League. We will find out who will be in our group for our debut season of Champions League football. So that is what's to come right here in a few moments. Ethan Cox has given us the lead inside 11 minutes. Spoke about away sims before. Usually they don't go your way. I don't know what it is. No matter who you're playing, it always becomes a bit of a struggle. They've actually equalised and missed a penalty. So they could have been 2-1 up. I'm telling you, every away sim you play, you either draw it or lose it. Alenia's gone on to score. I'll take that back. We won 2-1, even though it could have been 2-1 the other way had they have not missed that penalty. So we got a little bit lucky there, but at least we go through to round 3 of the Carabao Cup, even though it's not part of my plans this season. So that's good to see. We've won 3 from 3 in the Premier League so far. We've got a game against Arsenal to essentially, I want to say end the episode, but I'm not entirely sure. Here is how the draw has been made. We have been drawn out of the hat as we've got a load of messages coming back. A lot of match reschedules, obviously, since we are now playing Champions League football. Max Jackson's gone out on loan as well, guys, just to let you guys know that. And I'm going to go through the scouting reports real quick and just see what's happening. Nothing from the scout reports, but I am actually not sure if I'm going to be using them this season. We will see in due course, because at the moment, I don't really feel like we need to be using them. I feel like the squad's already coming together pretty well. But it's time then to find out the draw. Where is it? That's Europa League. Here is the group draw. Okay. Who will we have pulled is going to be the question mark behind this. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I don't know who is going to be in our group. I'm not sure what seeding we were, so we will find out. Group A, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Salzburg, Dynamo Kiev. It's going to go through very quickly. Oh my goodness. Have we got the group of death? I want to check this out in more detail for a second, but I genuinely think we might have got given the group of death here. That is an incredibly tough group looking at it just immediately. Let's have a quick look at the other ones first, though. So Group A, Real Madrid, Inter, Dynamo Kiev and Salzburg is not a bad group at all. Group B, Juve, Dortmund, Club Brugge and Copenhagen. It should be Juve and Dortmund, I'd say, going out of that one, but don't underestimate the other two. United, Nice, PSV and Fenerbahce. I think United got a semi-favourable group there. Couple of tough games, but ultimately I think they should get through in first. Milan, PSG, Porto, Shakhtar. That is an incredibly tough group actually as well. Okay, Spurs, Hoffenheim, Sporting, Lokomotiv, Moscow. Interesting. Bayern, Valencia, Monaco and Spartak Moscow. I think Bayern should be walking that pretty much at the moment. Monaco are struggling in this one. Barca, Napoli, Leicester, and Celtic. Feels like Celtic always seem to get in a group with Barcelona. I don't know what it is. And of course, our group then, which is Atletico Madrid, Red Bull Leipzig, and CSKA Moscow. Arguably one of the best sides from Russia, one of the better sides from the Bundesliga, and one of the top 3 sides from Spain. Difficult group, that. I don't know really how it's going to go. When do we make our debut in the competition, though, and who is it against? Quick look at that, then. So, Arsenal, Red Bull Leipzig in the first group stage game of the season. Well, that's going to be incredibly tough. I'm looking forward to it, though. It's going to be challenging. But for now, guys, let's jump into game against Arsenal. Potentially will be the end of today's episode. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. And in due course, still got a little bit of time in the window as well. Not a lot of money, but if we sell a couple of players, maybe, there might be time for one more deal, as we are getting some offers still coming through as well for our players. I nearly made a mistake there. I nearly went into game with Watson in goal. McNamee, he's coming back in. He's 84 rated, McNamee, now as well. That is really good to see. He's growing very nicely indeed. We are away at Emirates for the game, though. Ferrari playing in camp. I mentioned it earlier. I know I saw you guys leaving a comment last time regarding Ferrari in his position and to push Alenia a bit further up. Problem with that is Ferrari's defensive stats are not exactly great. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Players to watch then. Both number 9s are the highlighted players. Divock Origi for Arsenal. And, of course, Tim Weah for us. Weah's been in the goals this season, so has MACNEIL. It's the usual 2 suspects, those 2 guys who seem to be grabbing the goals for us, which is, I'm glad for that, because they are the people that we were looking to score the goals. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the contributions from both of the guys so far. 3 wins from 3 as well. I mentioned it earlier, I mentioned it last episode actually, talking about us, our real goals for this season, and it wasn't to retain the Premier League, it was to go as far as we could in the Champions League while still getting top 4. So at the moment, we started off in the right way of doing that. But here is the Arsenal lineup then. David Ospina starts in goal. Pierre Gabriel holding Mendes and Didier Serra as the left-back. Ramsey and El Neni in the 2 central defensive midfield areas. Ramsey captain in the side as well. James Ward-Prowse, Mkhitaryan and Asano with Divock Origi leading the line. I probably should have switched this around because on the bench, they've got Embolo, their record signing. And he's not even starting. So that's my mistake. I will remember next episode. In fact, on that topic, I can't even find my other controller. I don't know where it's gone. I'll have a look, but I need to change it because that's weird having them and Bolo on the bench. Don't understand that. For us, though, you see our lineup. There it is. Weah leading the line. Spoke about him. Player to watch. Ferrari, to be honest, for £40 million that we paid for him, hasn't shown the ability to be said that he is a £40 million player. Let's just put it that way. So these are the type of games where you've got to prove it, mate, and start that today. There was also a start for Barbet as well at left wing, so it means Kubo is the man who has dropped to the bench for this one. Nothing against that. Just thought I'd give Barbet a run out and see what was going to happen in that regard. Obviously, we can call upon Kubo should we need him, as Chris Sukasev immediately on the front foot will find Ferrari, who will hit the woodwork, and it bounces through for Weah, who's offside, and he hit the post anyway, or the bar. How do he hit the crossbar twice in the space of a minute? Less than that, actually. He was offside, Tim, where it would not have counted, but Ferrari certainly would, should he have put that in the back of the net. So, bit disappointed he hasn't done. And here is Ferrari now with a left-footed chance, and it's a big save from Ospina. We are creating chances with ease here inside the first 10. And Ferrari, that tries to go underneath Ospina, and he reads it really well. Does the goalkeeper, the number 1 for Arsenal here. As we go close again through Tim Weah this time, heading one over the top of the crossbar. And inside 10 minutes, we could have been already 1-2-0 up. You know what's going to happen, don't you? We're going to do all this, not score, and we're going to get scored on. I can't believe that. Here is El Neni trying to carry them forward. Mohamed El Neni turns away and he finds Mkhitaryan. And McNamee is required. Mkhitaryan's shot. It was easy in the end, I think, for our number 1. But he still had to make the save, and make the save he did. As that's another chance, Divock Origi this time. Behind that one from Arsenal. Short corner, headed to the near post. Again, McNamee there. And Arsenal asking questions now in this one as they lay a ball towards the edge of the area. Ferrari can't get close. None of us can really get close. Ramos blocking the initial shot. Sergio Ramos, even at the age he's at right now, is still a quality central defender. As we find MACNEIL to bring us out of our defensive standpoint. And he's going to find Tim Weah. Imagine if we can turn this into an attack. Weah puts the ball in and Barbet couldn't reach it. This might be a bit of danger here as Takuma Asano carries them forward. Ramos, though, does really well, and Peterson squeezes it through. Ferrari will find MACNEIL, who can carry it for Grimsby Town. Shane MACNEIL So good in these type of areas. He looks for Weah. Weah's in behind, and Tim Weah, offside flag, stays down. And the main man to watch for Grimsby Town gives them the lead here after 25 minutes at Emirates. It was a lovely move from us here. MACNEIL on the right-hand side started it off, drove forward, plays the ball in towards the feet of Tim Weah. And you can see a couple of the Arsenal boys were asking questions, saying, ref, that's offside, but the offside flag remains down. And it'd be interesting to see that back. I mean, it is incredibly close here, as you can see. But I think the right decision was made as MACNEIL lets this ball go. It looks like Weah is, in fact, onside, and he's in on goal. Unfortunate for the Arsenal boys who did ask the question. Nothing given from the referee, though, and it counts. Take nothing away, by the way, from the finish from Tim Weah, because that was quality from him. Just put it past Ospina, and didn't even have to worry about putting any power. Just place it in that bottom corner, and Ospina didn't stand a chance. Grimsby with a breakthrough here, but Arsenal definitely in this game still as well. When you kind of look as well at how much Tim Weah has grown into his role at Grimsby Town, leading the line on his own as a lone striker. He's improving every week, and it's really good to see that, especially considering he's still got so many years ahead of him, as Chris Sukasev can't get on that ball. And Mkhitaryan with a chance to put the cross in now. Elaine, you're going to go over. Not win the first one. It's coming around here, and Arsenal get a chance, and McNamee saves it. I'm not sure if there was a deflection in there. The shot in from their left back on his weaker right foot. I say weaker, I don't actually know. There's no deflection. It's just a good save from McNamee. I said Arsenal was still in the game. That is the case as they ask questions again. Not too close to half-time here. Another corner, it seems like. Oh, no. Goal kick. Fair enough. But that shows you the danger they do possess. They can cause a lot of problems if we're not careful. And it is time for that change then. We are going to bring on Kubo. And I'm actually also going to bring on Ethan Cox. I'm going to move Ferrari down to that CDM role and see how he plays in there. And if he's better, or if I feel that he's having more of an impact there, then I could continue to use him and we'll push Alenia up into that cam role as you guys suggested. But my only worry is the lack of interceptions and the lack of tackling, really. You know, in these type of areas, you've got to win the ball back. Alenia's been in them a couple of times and he, generally speaking, does quite well. That was so close to the equaliser for Arsenal. Divock Origi, that was a brilliant header. And he's very, very close to equalising the scoring. Wow. Very slender 1-0 lead at the minute. To 18 more minutes to go. And then he brings the ball under control. We'll find their left back. MACNEIL got to defend it and it's deflected. McNamee could have stopped that. And yet he let it go by him. This is the bit that frustrates me because now we've given them a free corner here. In which McNamee could have prevented the corner. In the end, he's prevented the goal anyway. I'm not sure what the referee's giving here. I think it's against Arsenal. Okay, fair enough. At first, I was thinking he's giving a penalty. I'd be screwing, but he's actually gone against Arsenal, which is fine by me. Mendes yellow carded as well. McNamee, at least, doesn't really make the mistake from the corner that he could have prevented in the first place. As Cox is going to find the substitute, Kubo. Look at the pace that Kubo has got. Kubo across. MACNEIL can't get the shot away, but we'll keep it in place still. And we'll find the ball back in. Wow. Tim Weah, that is not the finish I come to expect from you. Just looking at the cutback from Kubo, though, there, as we win the ball back brilliantly through Tim Weah. Gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed he didn't find the feet of MACNEIL, but now he will. Shane MACNEIL for number 2. And he does the bits when we need him to. Shane MACNEIL doubles our advantage and hopefully secures us the points here from the Emirates. With a brilliant finish into that bottom corner. He's just so clinical in these areas. Double figures every season for this Grimsby Town side. And he's looking like he's going to hit it again. Shane MACNEIL, ladies and gentlemen. As if you already didn't know the name, get to know. That is a tremendous finish into that bottom corner. No chance for Ospina at all. Grimsby take the second. It's his third of the season in 4 games in the Premier League. It's a dream result here if we can hold on. Arsenal have had chances though. Remember that. Divock Origi's header going close. McNamee's made a number of saves here as well. That on another day, this result could have gone very differently. Here is Mbolo. Come off the bench to actually come into the game now as well. Ward-Prowse and Aaron Ramsey do pretty well between them. Breel Mbolo shots! And Mbolo out of nothing gives Arsenal a lifeline. Largely should have dealt with that better. But to be fair, I don't think there's a lot we could do. Because here, this has come from nowhere. There's fingertips on it from McNamee, who's had a brilliant game other than that there. So I can't even complain at him. But with 3 minutes left, Arsenal given a lifeline. And we cannot afford to throw this away. Peterson towards McNeil, who's got it in a really good area to wind the clock down a little bit here. But Shane McNeil doesn't want to do that as he goes on the inside of one defender and tries to get past another one. Last minute of play now. As long as we don't lose the ball, it should be us heading to what could be a big 3 points. 2-1 the score here as it remains as Cox giving the ball away. I tried to just get around him so I could put the cross in. Seconds remain, and that should be it. There we go. Arsenal 1, Grimsby Town 2. Shane McNeil's goal, the difference. After what was a very tough game here. Don't take anything away from the home side. Very close game. We actually had less possession, but it's what you do with the ball once you get it. Man of the match performance as well from McNeil. 3 points. So as far as I'm aware, there will be no more deals going through for us unless something drastic happens. Milan want Mehdi Darfalou. At the moment, I am not even interested in getting rid of the 21-year-old. We already rejected an offer from Red Bull Leipzig for 22 million a few weeks ago. So again, I'm not interested in letting him leave the club. We got a couple of lower moves rejected that I'd accepted. So 10 hours left in the dread deadline day. We're going to skip through this. And should anything happen, I'll probably let you guys decide it. Peterson wanted as well by Nice now. Shane Peterson again was one of those players that you guys had the option of voting for the captaincy, which I am not going to be accepting either. I've just realised as well, if you look at his value, it only says 15 million. Which makes me think he has a contract expiring. So one of the things I think we should do is just double check that real quick, because I don't want anybody leaving for free and such. We already had that with Van Bergen, and he's left the club and not coming back. Yeah, we have quite a lot. So I'm going to do this. That's one that we have to re-sign. £80,000 a week for Shane McNeil at the moment. That's a big one to re-sign though. Oh my God, we have so many. Jeez, we've got so many players needing new contracts. Okay, I've been able to negotiate terms with McNeil and Peterson, so they're on new deals at the club. McNeil's on £80,000 a week and Peterson's on 50-something, 54k-ish. So we should be okay in that regards. But I think I'm going to have to do the rest off camera. So we'll skip through the day, and then off camera I will, go through and give the contracts to people who I want to be keeping hold of. And then I'll show you who we've done at the beginning of next episode, because for now, I'm not entirely sure I'll have enough money to go through them all. But I've just realised as well, there's been another top deal come through. Griezmann has joined the Premier League. He's gone to Chelsea. 82 million. And they've actually signed Messi and Chiesa as well. Chelsea are really making a statement in this one. 31 years of age, though, is Griezmann now. I'm not sure that's a good buy on their part, to be fair. For us, though, our window is pretty much done, I'd say. I don't think I have any more plans for it. 7 incomings with Kieran Tierney, and 4 outgoings. Sykesy gone to Fulham. Gale gone to Levante. Max Jackson gone on loan to Villarreal. And also Allen on a 900,000 deal to Lazio. So, for the most part, that is how our window's gone. And I don't have plans to do anything else. And that is the end then of transfer deadline day. And the end of what was a very good window for us. Bringing in some new talent, keeping hold of a lot of quality players. That was the big bit. We had to keep hold of the players who had been performing for us. We had to keep hold of McNeil, Weyer, these type of guys. We had to hold on to them in order to really retain our spot in the Premier League. So, doing that is one thing. Strengthening on the top of it is a really good point as well. I'm glad with this one. But that is going to be the end for today's episode, guys. Like I said, I'll go through and make sure all the players that we want to keep hold of have contracts still by re-signing them to new deals. And we'll sort that out for the next episode. If you have enjoyed this one, though, a like would be greatly appreciated. Next time out, we will make our debut in the Champions League. First up is Manchester City. And then we take on Red Bull Leipzig in the Champions League group stage. And we'll see what else we get done in that episode. Until then, though, guys, thank you all for watching. If you are around here, like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as well so you're notified whenever new videos go live. Enjoy the rest of your day. We are almost at the weekend, guys. It's going to be grand this week as well. So, again, thank you for watching. I'll see you all again tonight. Adios.